Hi, this is Michael William Denny of ThunderShamanism.com, and today we're going to talk about another chapter in the book, Mounting Sleipnir, the Indo-European Roots of Germanic Polytheism. So, today we're going to be talking about the god Ymir and his connection to the Vedic god Yama. So, this again is very interesting. It shows, again, for me, it shows that the Germanic tradition goes back to a deeper, more shamanic understanding of the Indo-European pantheon. But the Vedic also sheds some really great light on it. So the connection is very clear in terms of the etymology of the word. Ymir and Yama both come from the Proto-Indo-European root word yemos, which means twin. And we see this very clearly in the Germanic tradition, because what happened is this, is that one of the first beings to come out of the chaos of creation was this giant, a giant named Ymir. And he actually mated with himself, and from him he mated with himself and created the race of giants. So the giants are the forces of physics on the external scale, like gravity, time, these kinds of things. And this is what the giants are. They're these beings that human beings really can't relate to. You can't really pray to the giants. I know there's a whole group of people that like to pray to giants. Yeah. You can pray to Thor, he's half giant, but the giants really aren't interested in us people. That's why in the mythology you have these one-eyed giants walking around stomping on, villages and grabbing people and biting their heads off. They're really not interested in us, and you can't really deal, are you going to pray to gravity? It doesn't really work like that. But these are the forces that build the universe. Now, Yama in the Vedic tradition is the god of death, and when you want to master death, you pray to Yama, and he will give you mastery over death, which means you have to face death. You have to become fearless. You have to not care about death. That's how you become eternal in the Vedic tradition. And in the Germanic tradition, he's not called the god of death, but he is the first being to die. And it is Odin, Vili, and Ve who come and tear him apart. They tear him into pieces, and they use pieces of him to create the universe. His skull becomes the sky. His hair becomes the forests. His bones become the mountains. His blood becomes the sea. So he's clearly the compact essence of life force that, from that all life is created from that. And it's Odin, Vili, and Ve that creates that. And I'm going to get into that in a second. But before I do that, let's go back to the Vedic and talk about Yama. Yama is not only the god of death, he's the god of restriction. And the word Yama in Vedic means restrictions. And people who become yogis, who really want to master spiritual power, they have to observe these restrictions, which are called yamas. You can go without talking for a long period of time, or not eating meat, or refraining from sex, or whatever these restrictions are. They're designed to hold in life force energy, so that the energy doesn't get dissipated, so that it's held in, and it increases and gives the person more spiritual power. And this is how you overcome death. So limitation is important. That's the important thing here. Now, this is exactly what Ymir serves as in the Germanic myth, because he is the limitation. From his essence, Odin, Vili, and Ve create the limitations which map out, the universe. Yemos means twin, which means dual. Without duality, there's no differentiation. Without duality, there's not a me and a you, there's not an up or a down, or a hot and a cold, or a right and a left. So duality restricts and it limits things so that it can create this space within which life can occur. Because without the duality of things, we would never be able to experience anything. On a human level, the reason why Odin, Vili, and Ve are the deities that tear Yama to pieces and create the limitations, it means that our perception is what creates this. The perception that we're, disconnected. Physics is now coming to the conclusion that there really is no separation. It's all an illusion. And that, what happens in one cell or molecule can be happening, a million miles away, and that they can affect each other. They're still trying to figure all that out. But the point is that science is coming to the same conclusion that, spirituality has been coming to for years, which is the whole idea of separation is an illusion. And so Odin, Vili, and Ve are what give human beings their ability to perceive and to discriminate. And without that three-dimensional understanding, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference, and we wouldn't be able to function. We wouldn't be able to survive. So anyway, we could go on and on and on, but that's the god Yama and Ymir and their connections. And so if you're interested, you can buy the book, Mounting Sleipnir. There's a link right down there. Again, I'm going to hammer away because, you come to me for help. You want to learn shamanic power. This is one of the most valuable things I can give you is celestial qigong. It will only increase your power. It will connect you to the gods and to the masters, and it will, and it's extremely powerful, and I highly recommend it. I also recommend working with me one-on-one. We call this apprenticeship. Don't get freaked out by the word. It just means one-on-one work. You only commit to 1 month at a time. And, if you decide to work with me, eventually you're going to get over $3,000 worth of free stuff. You're going to have links to streaming videos and DVDs that I've got out, which normally you have to pay for. And even if you stop working with me, you'll still have access to those for life. So, save yourself $3,000. Even if you work with me for 6 or 7 months, you're still going to end up saving money. So my goal is to find people who really want to learn. That can only happen on a one-on-one scenario. And I'm looking for people who really want to learn all of my knowledge. So if you're interested, click on the apprentice link below. So that's it for now. Until the next chapter in Mounting Sleipnir.